It is now time for the main session. We have a very interesting personality and such an enterprising person. She's none other than Miss Guneet Singla. She hails from Kanpur and has studied in the prestigious Lady Shri Ram College for Women. With an MBA in marketing under her belt, she and her chef husband, Chef Sameer Singla, moved to Chennai in '94. After a short stint with HTA Chennai, she started Uncle Sam's Kitchen, an outdoor catering company, in 1997 and had her husband double her strength by joining her enterprise in '97. What started out as a two-people enterprise has grown into a 90-people team with over 6 brands in the last 24 years, with over 3 million satisfied customers and counting. In this beautiful journey, they have been awarded the top 5 caterers in India 2017 and the best wedding caterer in India in 2018. Top corporates, consulates, diplomats, and film stars, along with visiting PMs and ambassadors, have all enjoyed the personalized Uncle Sam kitchen touch, which is served professionally and caringly. We get invited to the best parties is the tagline of this fast growing hospitality brand, which is a force to reckon with and a name well respected by all who have enjoyed their amazing variety and stylized gourmet cuisine. Well, it's my great pleasure to have you with us, Miss Guneet. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Sandhya, and thank you so much, Ramash. I am so honored and proud to associate with a 25-year-old brand like Rock Academy, and we're very happy that we're all growing together. That's the way life should be. Thank you for having me over today. Good evening, friends. My name is Guneet Singla, and I represent my company, Uncle Sam's Kitchen. Now, as I explained, Uncle Sam's Kitchen is in the business of outdoor catering and banquets, and we serve delicious, wonderful food. But delicious, wonderful food becomes even better when it's served in style, eaten the way it should be, and given full respect. You may wonder in the pandemic, why are we having a class on table etiquettes? We're having a class on table etiquettes because when we eat with etiquette and style, we give respect not only to the food, but also to the person who's made it. Also, we get confidence and we get life skills which are fantastic and stand us in good stead wherever we may go in the world. You will definitely get your promotions. You will definitely do well and better because you will be a more charming personality to have around. And this doesn't mean that you only do this when you go to a restaurant or to a formal banquet, but even at home. You can try these sweet little tips that we're going to give you. And after the session, there are going to be some very interesting quizzes and question and answers and gifts, especially for you. So come along with me. Welcoming you, suppose we are going to a restaurant. The first thing that I've learned is make sure that you let people who need to exit so that you can walk in style. The minute you enter the restaurant or a formal dining. Sandhya, could you please mute everyone?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Once you walk into a restaurant, you will be met by the waiter. He will meet you, greet you, seat you. I'm going to sit down. Give me a second. Yes, I think now we can see everything. So I have been met, I have been greeted, I have been seated, and now I will be treated to a glass of water. That's the first thing that is served when we sit down. When you sit down, make sure you're not right at the back, you're not right in the front, and the elbows don't come on to the table at all. I'm just going to adjust the camera a little because my head is getting cut. Thank you. That's good. And thank you so much. All right. So sitting straight. As you see here, there are so many spoons and forks and plates and glasses. Oh my God. What were the simple techniques that they were talking about? Tell you what, we're going to make this very simple, and I'm going to unravel the mysteries of what's going to happen on the dining table. This is like a content of a book, the content table of a book. When you see what is called a table cover, and this whole thing is called a table cover, it's going to tell you what's going to be served in the meal that's going to follow. So this is like the contents of a book. The first thing that I'm going to tell you is take you through all of this here. This is my napkin, something very important. I open the napkin and I'm going to place it on my lap. The way I'm going to place it is with the mouth of the napkin opening inwards. I can also make a triangle and keep it like this with the triangle going down this way. However, I'm going to make sure that I make it into a rectangle, and I'm going to keep the mouth open and put it on my lap. All right. Now, are we ready? If you are, let's do a thumbs up and let me know that you're all set. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your enthusiastic thumbs up. Now, we have so many spoons and forks, so many plates. Very often we get confused if this is our glass or this is our glass. Have you ever gone through that? Yeah, I'm sure you have. A very simple technique. BMW. Bread plate, main course plate, and water glass. BMW. Another simple technique is B and D. If you've forgotten, you don't have to do this here. You can do this under the table. B is for bread plate and D is for your drink glass. So BMW or BD tells you this is your bread plate and this is your water glass. I'm sure you're never going to forget the BMW technique. Let's now zoom across further and how we go about it. All right. Today, we are going to talk about a 4-course meal. Normally, there is a 13-course classical meal, but 13-course classical meal will take very long. So we're going to stick with a 4-course meal, and I'm going to take you through what happens in a 4-course meal. But before we do that, let me run you through these glasses here. The water glass is always the first glass and the smallest glass. Then this tall flute is called the champagne flute, tells us that champagne will be served. And a broad bottom glass is for red wine. And we always use the stem to hold these glasses. We don't hold the stem glasses like this because the heat from our body will heat the wine. So we make sure that we always use the stem when we use a stem glass. This is a red wine glass, which is served at room temperature, and a broad bottom glass so that it helps the wine breathe. If it was a white wine, it would have been a slimmer glass. I'm going to put the wine glass back. The 3 glasses have shown me that we have water. There is champagne coming up, which means there will be a toasting later. And there is a wine which will be paired along with the food that the chef has planned for us. So that takes care of the glasses. Now coming to the cutlery. We always use the cutlery from outside to inside. Outside to inside. Today, as I told you, we are serving 4 courses: soup, salad, main course, and dessert. Soup, salad, main course, and dessert. But I don't know, I'm getting confused. Should the spoon be on the right or should the spoon be on the left? Should the fork be on the right or should the fork be on the left? Just chill, chill, just chill. F-O-R-K. L-E-F-T. And yes, the fork will always be on your L-E-F-T. Have you got that? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And our I,
Yes.
G, H, T. S, P, O, O, N, spoon, 5-letter word. K, N, I, F, E, 5-letter word will always be on your R, I, G, H, T. So spoons and knives on your right and FORK, fork, on your LEFT. Are we doing good? All right, thank
Yep.
you. Keep going. I'm so happy that you've understood that. Now let me take you through the food. Make sure that you're sitting straight, that you're smiling, that you're in a happy mood, because the most important thing that you bring along is always your smile and your happy personality. If you're a lady and you've got your handbag, make sure that you hang your handbag, or you're carrying a handbag hook, or you put your handbag on a chair. Don't put the handbag on the floor. It carries the germs when you go out. Also, you don't put money on the floor ever. So remember that. Your elbows stay away from the table unless you're taking a break in between your courses, then it's sometimes permissible. Otherwise, it's always your wrist which are on the table. You never put your hands under the table like this, because in the olden days when we came up with these kind of classical rules, people thought you could be holding a weapon from underneath. So no hands tucked away and can't be seen. You let your wrist be on the table, a smiling face, and a happy personality willing to be served in style. There comes the server, and the server is carrying my soup. Who all likes soup? As you can see, the service is always from the left, and after I finish eating, they will take it away from the right. Now, the minute the soup comes, don't start stretching out. That's absolutely a no-no. You don't stretch out. You wait for the fumes, the smoke on the soup to settle down a little. After you've done that, and the soup looks as if it can be eaten, you take a soup spoon, which means that is the first spoon on the table. It's a little more deep, and that was the first one, and we eat from outside to inside. We don't need a fork for drinking soup. We take a soup, we put it into the soup bowl, and we don't eat it like this. We put your soup spoon inside, and it is always eaten outwards. And you gently touch it to the rim and then to your mouth. No, 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 no. That's not the slop soup. There should be no sound when you're enjoying the soup, even if you're loving it. And when it's an Uncle Sam's Kitchen soup, you can be sure that you'll be loving it. So in goes the spoon, gently touched, and without making any sound, you enjoy the soup. If the soup is about to come to an end, you do not do this ever. You gently hold the bowl towards the outside and then have the last few drops, leaving a few still inside. And after you have finished, you can put your soup spoon away gently, parallel to you, on the underliner. This is called an underliner. And your server will be happy to take it away from the right. So service from the left and taking it away from the right. Are you with me? Are you now understanding and getting
Yes.
the flavors? All
Yes,
right.
yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you. So we've enjoyed the soup. Now what do we have? We have a KNIFE on my RIGHT, and there's an FORK on my left, which means I'm going to be served a salad. That is what is served as the next course in a 4-course meal. Now, in a 4-course meal, when I've been served my second course, I pick up my FORK and my knife, because I could be eating a tomato or a cucumber, and I will need to cut it. And so, holding with my pointer, I put the fork down. I do not make sounds like that. I put my fork down, and I gently, do not not cut like that. It should be effortless. And I gently cut. And when I eat like this, it's called the continental way. What is a continental way? What are the countries that come in a continent? Continent means European way. We can also call it the European way. And when we when we poke with the fork and we put it in our mouth, that is the European or the continental way. I may also decide to put the knife down, which I will put like this, slanting between, if it was a clock, then I have it between 10 and 1, and then I transfer the fork to my right-hand side, a little bit more casual approach. The continent is not so casual, but the Americans are quite casual. And so the American way is when we transfer the fork from the left to get a better grip because we're more comfortable, and we then eat from the right. And that is called the American way. You could unmute and let me know when we transfer from the left to the right. That is called the
American way.
What a fantastic audience. I am so impressed with each and every one of you. Make sure you stay on for the quiz because you are going to win yourself some amazing gifts today. Thank you. So we learned about the American way and the continental way. I've had lots of salad, and I am going to make sure that I put my cutlery. Cutlery is also called silverware, and I put my silverware because it's going to be taken away from which side?
Right side.
Right side.
Right side.
That's all I can say to you. That's a super smart bunch with us today. If I need to wipe my lipstick a little or my hands, here I am gently wiping it away. Now remember that the napkin has a big role to play in this whole drama. Suppose I need to use the restroom. We never go to the restroom. Actually, you should have taken care of all of that earlier, but nature calls when nature calls. And should you have to go, you always do that only in between a course. You do not go away while you're eating a salad or drinking your soup. You do try to hold on, and then you excuse yourself and go to the restroom or wherever you may need to go. Your phone is a definite no-no. It has to be on silent or on switch off mode. And you know, a lot of us put our phones on the table. We do not do that ever because you know, and I know that when the phone is on the table, this finger of ours is so used to checking, is there a message? So make sure that the phone has no place on the table. It is kept tightly away in your bag. So the phone is inside your bag. You go to the restroom. You make sure that you put your napkin on the chair and go. When you leave your napkin on the chair, it tells the waiter, hey, I'm coming back. Don't take my cover away. I will be back. And once you're back, make sure you wash your hands and you're back and ready for the next course. Now we're doing a 4-course meal. We've already finished the soup. We've finished the salad. And now we come to the main course. In the main course, we have, whether it's an Indian main course or whether it's a continental main course, we will have naan, we'll have chapati, we'll have a dosa, we could have an appam, we could have breads. All of that will be served on the bread plate. You also have a bread knife and a butter knife and a butter dish should you be having a continental meal. And you can then put butter on your bread and leave it here. Many a times when we eat a naan, we tend to put everything onto the main course plate. Make sure you don't do that now because you now know all the rules of how it's eaten the correct way. Make sure the bread is always kept in the B part of the BMW, which is the bread plate, and you use the bread knife to cut and you use the butter. You never take the, suppose you're having soup, you don't take the bun and start dipping it into the soup. You always take butter, put it on your bread, take a bite. Yum, yum. Sorry, sorry, sorry. That's not permitted. You got to make sure you don't chew like a cow silently with your mouth closed without talking. You're enjoying the meal. Now we are served the main course, and very clearly, the main course again uses the FORK and the KNIFE. And I could be deboning my meat off the bone, or I could be using it for cutting something, and I am not going to be struggling with it. It's got to be done gently, and it's got to be just gently cut. We also don't talk like that. The cutlery is not roaming around. We never do that because that is terrible manners. We make sure that we cut, and when we are waiting, pacing ourselves, we keep our cutlery like this, which means I'm eating. Please don't take my plate away. Keep in mind that some people eat faster, some people eat slower. So make sure that you keep the pace with the people around you. It's not nice to eat while others have all finished. It's also not nice to eat so fast and then put your spoon and fork in a place that tells the waiter that take my plate away. And he has no option but to take your plate away. So be careful about that. Pace your meal. Take only as much as you can manage in a certain amount of time. If you've gone to somebody's house and they are giving you some food, make sure you take your food. Again, we never take food like this. We never shove food on our plates. We take the food and we put it on. We don't take so much that there's nothing left for anybody else just because it's our favorite dish. And if we don't like what is being served, you don't say, Venda, Venda, Venda. No, 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 no. I don't like that. No. You very politely take just a spoon to make sure that you give respect to the person who's cooked this food and don't hurt their sentiments. If you have allergies, make sure that when you are invited to somebody's house, you do tell them that you're allergic to nuts, to gluten, to dairy, and make sure that I'm sure that they will ensure it is not served. But should you have any worry, only then can you desist from putting that onto your plate. Or else you take a little bit, if you think you may or may not like it, and pass it on from the right, not from the left. You don't bend over. Should somebody ask you to give something, you reach out only if you can and not soil or stain your clothes by jumping over your food. You also don't talk very loudly, very softly. You have a conversation at a pitch that everyone can enjoy what you're saying, what you're cracking comments or laughter and happy conversation, because when you are enjoying your food, the food gets digested better and you're somebody who people love having around, whether it's an Indian meal or a continental meal or any kind of a meal. Laughter, body language, posture are things which are useful all the time. Now, after you've taken a little break and you've finished your food, when you take a break, as I explained to you, you keep your cutlery like this, and then you pick it up again and start eating. You could also use a spoon, and that may be used by you too. After you've finished eating your main course, you make sure that you put your cutlery away like this. This is one option. The other one is 420. This tells you that you have finished eating and the waiter or the server can take your plate away. So either it is straight or it is at position 420. And yes, you could again utilize either the European system. As we explained to you earlier, the European is using the fork on your left and continuing with it. And the American is when you put your knife down here, transfer the fork onto your right and then eat. And after all of it is done, it's all taken away and you are free. You've also finished your water. The pairing of the meats has been done and the setup, the cover is now done. There are still a fork and a spoon waiting for you. The spoon is looking at your right so that you are supposed to eat from the right, whether it's the Indian system or any other. It's the spoon is always got the mouth towards the left and the stem towards the right. And now you're ready to eat your dessert. The dessert is served to me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have the fork, which has come into place. We've got the spoon that's come into place. And suppose I've got a delicious apple crumble from Uncle Sam's Kitchen with chantilly cream. I am going to break the apple crumble or the apple pie, and I'm going to enjoy it. Or I could enjoy a mousse. I could enjoy even jalebi, just this way. And after I've finished, either I'm taking a break if I've not finished, and then you know how I'm eating. And if I have finished, this says, I'm done. I've had a great meal. And thank you.
You're most welcome.
Some people continue to drink wine or drink champagne. There could be a toast. And that's the time that you stay on. And you do not really bring your elbows on still. This is a nicer way to be seated. That is the way that a classical 4-course meal can be enjoyed. Today, as you've seen, we've enjoyed soup, salad, main course, and dessert. We now know the water glass, a champagne glass, a wine glass, a red wine glass, which is bottom is broader, then a white wine glass, which is sleeker. After I finished my meal, a lot of people ask me, hey, what do I do to the napkins? I gently dab, and I don't have to put the napkin back in shape and wonder what to do. However, I must not put the napkin on a soiled plate. I can now put the napkin in a decent way, not properly folded or anything, but in a nice way back onto the table on my left. And this says, I've finished the meal and I've had a great time. After saying my goodbyes and thanking the host for a wonderful meal that I've enjoyed, we make an exit and make sure that we send a thank you message, a thank you WhatsApp, a bunch of flowers, something to say that we had a great meal because you took the effort of not only cooking for us, getting the right ingredients which suited us, getting a meal which we enjoyed, and seating us, wining us, dining us in total style. You may wonder at this time that is it only for when we go out to a restaurant or somebody's house? Should we do that? I'm sure a lot of things that we've discussed today are some tips that you can use when your mother cooks or when your daddy cooks at home too. Not talking when your mouth is full, not lying down on the table, not doing things like that, not getting phones onto the table. So you can bond over your meal. You can laugh. You can become closer as a family. Have a nice discussion, yet not let any food out of your mouth. Thank the person who's made the meal, even if it is a cook who's made it at home. And with such beautiful manners and beautiful tips, you are going to be the most loved and preferred person at any gathering. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope that some of these tips today have made an impact on you. And as you go on in life, You will remember Guneet from Uncle Sam's Kitchen, who taught you BMW, who taught you B&D, who told you about these glasses, about the silverware, about the silent conversations with the waiter, what the napkin can do, what the plates are all about, and you will remember these tips and take them along with you. Thank you, and that's all from me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. I think this is such an entertaining session. You've had the audience hooked to find all the kids glued to the screen and responding. It was so great. I mean, I think I can talk for the entire audience that not only were we watching this lovely demonstration, we were imagining some wonderful food also in the place. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for this great session.
Thank you. Do you think we have time for 3 questions?
Of course, yes, we do. Please carry on.
All right. Are we ready?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. The first question is, and let me tell you that Uncle Sam's Kitchen has a service called Party in a Box, which is a treat box for a family of 4, which can be delivered to your doorstep. And the people who get the answers right are going to get a 10% off on Party in a Box, which will be delivered to their house. So my first question is, what is that whole table setup called? There's one word which I kept using for it. You can type it, and the person who types it first will be the winner for the first Party in a Box special offer.
We've already got an answer by Mr. Manoj Solomon. And the answer is table cover.
Absolutely.
Oh, so many people have said.
Manoj, many congratulations. That was fantastic and very quick. Fastest finger first.
Yes.
All right. Now, which is the glass which is, okay, no. What is the full form of BMW in the table cover world?
Let's see. Please type in your answers.
Please type in your answers.
Okay. I would suggest please type the entire thing in one message. Okay. I think Arya has got. Okay, I think we have to give it to iPad. The person's name is iPad. Bread plate, main course plate, and water. So whoever is iPad, you could unmute yourself and introduce yourself.
I am Vritti. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Jessie. Are you Jessie?
Vritti.
Vritti.
Vritti, you're a very intelligent little girl. And I'm so happy that the next offer of Party in a Box is going to you so that you can gift it to your family. That's a very smart girl. All right. Now we come to the last question for today evening. And that is, when I finish my meal, my cutlery, I gave you 2 options of where my cutlery or my silverware should be kept on my main course plate. You could tell me any one. I gave you timings.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Rachna Balaji, 6 o'clock and 4:20.
All right. Superb. 4:20 it is. 4:20 it may be, but 4:20 is definitely getting you that Party in a Box to your house, Rachna Balaji. And it's at Dr. Rachna Balaji. Dr. Rachna Balaji is a famous dentist, and I'm so happy that she's won this.
Yes, yes.
Lovely. Thank you so much. When I have a dentist giving a right answer, I have to say that the napkin can be, you can use a toothpick, though the toothpick is not the right thing to use. But when you use a toothpick after your meal, you keep your hand like this, and only then do you use the toothpick. Or you floss when you go back home. When I have a dentist answering a question, I have to tell the etiquette for your teeth during a meal. That is all from me, Guneet Singla. I'll request all the 3 winners to please send their addresses to Sandhya, and we will be very happy to send you the menus that you can go ahead and order.
Sure.
Are
So
there any questions that anybody
yeah,
has for
now
me?
we can have some questions from the audience. I think Arya had one question she had asked earlier.
No,
if
it
you-
got clarified.
It got
Ma'am clarified it.
Okay, fine. Do you want
Thank you, Arya.
to talk about it? I mean, do you want to mention it?
Yeah, I had a doubt that so can we keep the fork straight, or are we supposed to keep the forks like in a 420 way, or we can keep it straight?
Okay.
Both are absolutely fine, and either of them will get the message across to the waiter, to the server, that you are done. So that's a very intelligent question, Arya, and I'm so happy that you know the right answer now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do we have any more questions, audience? This time is yours. If you have any clarifications, please feel free to raise them. I'm sure Ms. Guneet would be pleased to answer them.
I have a
Yes.
question.
Sure.
If you're still eating, and where do you keep the cutlery?
Okay. If you're still eating, then you keep the cutlery. I'm going to take this standby plate, which I kept. And when I'm still eating, I make sure that suppose I'm still eating, I keep my cutlery like an X. Like an X. When I'm taking a break in between my food and talking to my friends, I can keep it like an X, which means I'm still eating. In between the course, if I do not want to give my silverware away, I can also make sure I keep it on a cutlery stand that may be provided. But if there is enough cutlery, I should let the cutlery go. Can also be kept on the bread plate. But the best thing is, in between your course, you can keep the cutlery like an X. All right.
I think
If they have to take my plate away and I still have to hold on to my cutlery, where do I keep it?
If the plate needs to be taken away and for some reason you love the cutlery, you think it's your lucky cutlery, you can either keep it on the right where you've got a little cutlery stand, or preferably on your bread plate. But if there is enough cutlery, let that cutlery go and enjoy it with fresh cutlery or silverware.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a beautiful question.
Yes.
I'm reading it myself.
Yes.
Does saying a prayer before starting the meal form a part of etiquette? Well, I don't know if it forms a part of etiquette or not, but it's a beautiful thing to do. And suppose you're invited to a home which believes in that, make sure you join in with all fervor and grace. It is not it's not a compulsory part of table etiquettes, but it's a beautiful part of life to bless the food, to say thank you, and to show gratitude for the food that you're going to eat. So it's a lovely manner, a lovely etiquette to take along. Go ahead and do that.
Thank you. I think Keshav has a question. Okay,
Yeah.
Roshan. Sorry. We'll go one by one. Keshav, please go ahead.
If you're still eating the food, and if the server is serving and you don't want any more of the food, can you show through the cutlery that you have?
All right.
Without the
So
hand gestures?
that's a great question, Keshav. Suppose you're still eating and the waiter comes with a second serving and you have enough and you don't think you want. You don't say no. You gently say no, thank you, and that's enough. You are allowed to say no. It's bad manners to waste food. So if you think you don't want it or don't want to eat anymore, just don't shake your cutlery around. You can let them know, no, thank you. Same goes for water or wine. If you think you don't want, you could say no, thank you, and that's absolutely fine. So there's no worry on that.
Thank you.
You just don't be rude and say, Venda, no, those no harsh gestures. But you could say, no, thank you. That'll be all. No, thank you. And that's good enough.
Okay, Roshan, go ahead. Roshan, go
After
ahead.
you finish all your courses and when you're having champagne, what do they do after drinking champagne?
So see, champagne is served when you could be maybe toasting somebody's wedding or an achievement or a special occasion. And mostly the toast is done in the beginning of the meal. So hopefully by the time you come to the end of the meal, you are done with all the champagne. Champagne is done by the time, if it's a toast, because it's normally done either at the beginning of the meal or beginning of the dessert. But the host mostly does the toast in the beginning of the meal, so you're done with the champagne. It's the wine, if it is being served, you could be having a couple of sips, and that can be right. Even after you finish, you could have a couple of sips and get over with that.
I have another question.
Sure.
For having red wine, the glass will be much larger, but for having white wine, it will be a little slimmer, correct?
Yes. So I don't have a white wine glass today, but as you can see, this is called a champagne tulip or a champagne flute. Looks like a flute. And this is a red wine glass with a bottom, which is a little bigger because red wine needs some more space to breathe. The white wine glass is in between that. It's neither so narrow and nor so broad. It's in between.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Roshan. I hope your curiosity has been satisfied. We have a question, just 1 second. We have a question in the chat box by Dr. Ilendrian. Can we serve when we're dining?
Absolutely. You can serve. Suppose I'm the hostess and I have invited all of you to my house and I don't have help. That doesn't mean that I put all the food. As a hostess, I am free to go back and bring the food, serve it to everyone, serve it to myself, and sit down. Because many a times at home, we have no help. And as a hostess, I'm happy to do so. And good manners, should you find the hostess struggling with whatever, it's never bad manners to help someone.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, Ashmita and Tarun, please go ahead.
Ma'am, you said that we should not touch the wine glass with its thick area, no, ma'am. You said we should touch it. We should hold it with its stem part.
In the stem,
why?
Yes.
You told if we touch it in that thick area, you said it will be heated. What will happen if it is heated, ma'am?
All right. So I'm very enchanted that all you little children have so many questions on wine. And I'd like to tell you that pairing of food with wine is actually a totally different subject. But I'm very happy that you've asked me this question. When we hold a glass like this, the heat from our body warms up the wine. Now, white wine is best enjoyed when served chilled. And red wine is served at room temperature, not hot. So to enjoy right food at the right temperature and right wine at the right temperature, to enjoy the flavors, it's best that it be drunk like this. We enjoy the flavors when the temperature is right. Imagine eating a dosa 2 hours after it is made. Will it be fun? No. Imagine making a hot cup of filter coffee, but having it 1 hour after it's made. Temperature has a very important role to play in how we enjoy our food. To ensure that we enjoy the whole experience, this cutlery, this whole glassware has been planned and made. So that's the reason why we don't hold the glass like this.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Do we have any more questions? I think Shalini, did you have a question? I could see you were unmuting yourself. Shalini, did you have a question? Okay, anybody else? Any more questions? All right. Okay, yes, I think we do. Do we have a question? Okay, I think with that we conclude the question answer session. Thank you so much, Ms. Guneet. I think, I mean, this is such a fascinating session. The way you demonstrated the whole thing, all of us got a complete, a total fine dining experience, minus the food, albeit, but then yet it was totally enjoyable. And I think all of us, I mean, to see the kids being so inquisitive and so curious about learning about this more, I feel really happy that you were here, Ms. Guneet. Thank you so much for taking your time on a Sunday evening and sharing your experiences with us, sharing your expertise with us in such a beautiful way.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed every second of learning from our little audience here on how to answer such difficult and well thought out questions. And I hope and pray that all the food that you eat blesses you and makes you stronger, wiser, and smarter. Don't waste any food because lots of effort is made to grow it and to cook it. Bon appetit and keep enjoying.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
All right. I think with that, we come to the end of the session. For all of you who want to revisit this information, this video will be available in our YouTube channel, Rak Academy of Dance, along with all the other Rak Talk session. So you could share the link with your friends, family, whoever it is that you want to share the information with. Thank you, audience. Thank you for staying for the complete session. We've had a great turnout today. And with the same excitement, I welcome you all next week for yet another wonderful, informative, and entertaining session just like this. So until then, please take care, stay home, stay safe. Good evening, good night. Thank you so much.